Hi, Sagittarius. Welcome to your bonus reading for the person that you're dealing with. So this does not have to be a love situation, although for many of you it will be. But we all deal with all different kinds of people for all different kinds of reasons, so make it make sense for you. So we're starting with the Fool, the Four of Wands, and the Six of Swords. So the Six of Swords is giving an impression that one or both of you has escaped something and you're finding some kind of refuge, peace, protection with each other. I'm getting the sense here that the two of you can really express yourselves with each other. So if you've maybe recently made a new friend who feels very protective of you, or even if this isn't a new person in your life, it's someone that you discovered is making you feel very protected and making you feel very safe. On your side, you're showing up as the Fool, which is giving an energy that you really do trust this person. It feels like those trust exercises that you sometimes do in like team building things, or where like you have to fall into a group of people or you have to trust another person, that kind of thing. It's giving the impression that you really do trust this person in that way. And your person here is showing up as the Four of Wands. So it does sort of feel like there's a bit of a history between the two of you. And I almost want to say that this person almost feels apologetic about something, that maybe they weren't there for you in the past, but now they're really showing up as someone that you can, who you understand is going to show up for you now, someone who is going to protect you, someone who, and I do feel with this Fool energy that you're feeling that trust, that you can release whatever happened perhaps in the past between the two of you, where there may have been a hiccup, some sense of a mistrustful type of energy. You're now releasing that and you feel like you can perhaps give this person another chance, that you do really trust them in your heart of hearts, but you know that they messed up somehow. So, but let's see, why is the Six of Swords here? So the Six of Swords is being clarified by the Nine of Pentacles. This is giving the impression that the two of you had to spend some time apart in order to come back together in a good and solid way. And whatever each of you did when you were apart, your efforts are really paying off now. And you're recognizing each other for who you really are. You're seeing the value in each other, which I think is what's allowing you to release the past. Your person is releasing maybe bad habits that they had in the past towards the relationship, and you're releasing a sense of bitterness or mistrust that you have. You're both releasing something and seeing the value that each other has to bring to the situation. But let's see, why the Six of Swords and the Nine of Pentacles? So there's the Three of Swords, Page of Pentacles, and Six of Pentacles. So we have these two sixes in the central energy. And so I do feel like there is some kind of guidance between the two of you that's bringing the two of you together, trying to balance out the situation, which is what we said, that you were somehow hurt in this situation with the Three of Swords, but your person now wants to put in the effort with the Page of Pentacles to really balance this out, to make it from a tumultuous situation into a calm and peaceful situation where everyone gets what they want. Everyone gets, it's a win-win situation, in other words. It went from something bad where you had to separate, but now you're coming back for a win for both of you, is what this is saying. So, but your person is showing up in this Four of Wands energy, someone who understands that they have a history with you, that there's been milestones hit with you, that it's not been all bad times, it's been also good times. And they do want to support you. They're coming through with this really loving energy. So that's being clarified by the Magician. So they are certainly manifesting you back in. And I think they know that this starts with an apology, that you have to forgive them in order for them to return, that they have to tell you that they're sorry. And it's the only way to really manifest you back in. But it looks like with this Page of Pentacles that they're ready to do that. They learned their lesson and they're ready to move forward in a much more productive way. So why the Four of Wands and the Magician? So there's the Hanged Man, Four of Pentacles, and the Eight of Swords. This was a person who, if you felt that this relationship was not balanced, it's because they were scared. They were purposefully holding themselves back because they were afraid to feel unstable. So their fears basically were telling them that if they put all of their faith in you, if they put all of their eggs in your basket, so to speak, that would make them feel like they weren't in control of a situation. It made them feel out of control, and that being separate from you or not giving themselves fully to you is what was keeping them feel safe. But really what this was doing, it was also keeping them small. And they're realizing this now. The universe really put them in a time out with this Hanged Man, saying you cannot have access to Sagittarius over here. You cannot have access to this person because you're keeping yourself too small when you're in their presence, that you have to be either all in or all out. And so your person sat in this timeout for a while and they became enlightened eventually. And this lesson started to dawn on them that this is what they have to do in order to keep you and in order to keep this relationship together and balanced and fair for you, because your heart was broken by this person and they know that. So, but you are showing up in this Fool energy where it feels like you still have an element of trust towards this person. That's being clarified by the Eight of Cups. So this is feeling like you could literally go either way. You could jump back into this or you can walk away. You're fine either way. And it is giving the impression that because your heart was broken, that you're not so sure you want to go around this. You don't want to go around this cycle with them again. You've already been around this block and you don't need it again. But yet you feel with the Fool card that there could be something more here. It feels like with these sixes, and I was getting that it's somehow guided. Your guides are involved. I'm also getting the sense that perhaps the two of you share spirit guides, or at least you share a spirit guide. And it feels like this is not the first time this is not your first rodeo. This is not your first lifetime together, that you position yourselves in each other's lives in different ways in order to learn different lessons and to untie your karmic spaghetti. So, but I am getting that you sense that on a deep level, but you're also saying, I don't know that I want to go through this. I don't think I like this lesson. So why the Fool and the Eight of Cups? So we have the Star, the Lovers, and the High Priestess. Okay, this is great because what we were just saying was you feel on a spiritual level that this is your person. But on a 3D level, you're thinking, well, I don't want my heart to get hurt. Well, that's exactly the lesson your person just had to learn, that if you're afraid to have your heart get hurt, then you're not going to expand. You're going to keep yourself in that small energy of fear. And what this is asking of both of you is to expand into that energy of love. The Lovers is pointing right at this relationship, which makes me feel that there's about to be a divine activation of love between the two of you, that this person is really becoming enlightened. And so to keep your vibe high, keep your enlightenment high, keep your love expanded, hold a lot of room for this person. And I think you can do that because you're showing up as the High Priestess and the Star. On an intuitive level, you know this person is your person and meant to teach you something. And there's about to be an activation of love between the two of you, which is why you're still feeling like I can probably go through this trust exercise with this person. I know this person is going to catch me. And with the Star being on the external side, it does tell me that you've done a lot of healing outside of this relationship. So it feels, in other words, that the two of you are ready to come back together. but you just have to make the decision because you're still showing up here as having this 8 of Cups energy around you where you're feeling like, nah, I think I'm just going to release this person. So, but the 6 of Pentacles is here in the central energy saying that this is going to balance itself out. Your person is ready to face their fears. They've become enlightened about what this is and what it means. So with the 6 of Pentacles is the Hermit. And the Hermit is a deep spiritual wisdom that the two of you share. You've both done your healing. You've both really stepped deep inside of your subconscious to realize that there's more to this than just the two of you. There's more to this story than just two people having fun in a lifetime together. There's something deeper that's meant to be learned here. And it feels like you both know this, that your person's Hanged Man energy has enlightened them enough to understand the gravity of this relationship, the spirituality of this relationship. And you have the Star, the High Priestess, and the Lovers. So you're pretty clear, and the Fool. You're pretty clear that this is a spiritual connection and there's more to it than what just meets the eye on the surface level. So why the 6 of Pentacles and the Hermit? So there's the 8 of Wands, the Queen of Wands, and the Tower. So the universe certainly had to step in, and we already know why. This person was coming in an inauthentic way. They were trying to come in half-assed and not putting their full faith and effort into you and this connection. So the universe said, no, that's not going to work because you're still going surface level. And the universe didn't want you two to be surface level. They wanted you to go all the way, go the distance, be in alignment with each other, take passionate action towards each other. And so this was all torn down. And we saw that. We really saw that there was a separation and now a potential coming back together. The 8 of Wands on your side is telling me that you are feeling in alignment with this person. Your intuition and this activation of love is telling you, urging you, nudging you towards doing this. And the Tower is here saying that you're not alone. The universe has a hand in this. Your guides even, or the guide you share in common has a hand in this, and that they're standing beside you, and there's like a whole team of guides that are cheering you on, basically, with this 8 of Wands saying, do this. You're not going to regret it if you do this. And your person is showing up in a much more authentic way now. That they're showing up as the Queen of Wands and they're really ready to take passionate action towards you. The Queen of Wands doesn't do anything half-assed. The Queen of Wands does everything with confidence and with her whole heart and soul. And so this is your person showing up now saying, you know what, I'm really ready to show up for you. So, but this 8 of Swords was here. This was that small energy that they're keeping themselves in, that it looks like they're releasing and they're stepping into their enlightenment and in their confidence. So that 8 of Swords is being clarified by the Lovers, which I'm going to turn over. But you now have the Lovers on both sides. You have the Lovers here and they have the Lovers here. So they're still in the process of understanding that this is the choice that they must make. That if they want you, they have to come in full with you. They have to come in as the Queen of Wands with you if they want you. And if they want to stay small and in this energy of fear where they feel very secure with their 4 little pentacles over here, if they feel like they want to stay small, then they can't have you. And that's the decision. Do they want you? Do they not want you? Do they want love? Do they want fear? And that's the decision that they're making. So why the 8 of Swords and the Lovers? So there's Death, 9 of Wands, and the Page of Wands. Okay. So the Page of Wands is here saying that your person is ready. They're ready to try something new. They're tired of the pain that they're causing themselves by holding themselves back. Holding themselves back away from you is causing them more trouble than that stability that they're trying to find isn't there anyway. Their 4 of Pentacles are being met with a 9 of Wands. Being out here without you was a false sense of security. They're still apprehensive. They're still afraid. They're still being cautious, and they don't have you. So if they're going to be apprehensive, if they're going to be afraid, if they're going to be cautious, they'd rather do that and have you, which is why the Death card is pointing right at this scenario here, this relationship here, because they're moving from this energy of fear. They're majorly transforming into the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands never finds herself in an Eight of Swords energy, ever. The Queen of Wands is not afraid of anything. She goes after what she wants. She knows she's protected. She knows she's a badass, and she goes full throttle. And so your person went from an Eight of Swords. They're transforming into a Queen of Wands, going full throttle because they know that's the only way they can have you. So, and your High Priestess, you're over here as the High Priestess, which I love. I think that not only is there a divine love that's activating for you, but I think your psychic abilities are activating for you too. And there's the Hierophant. So I do feel like this person is looking to you for the answers. This person is looking to you to say, I think you're further along on this spiritual journey. I'm in this Hanged Man enlightened energy, but I'm still showing up here as a minor arcana, as the Queen of Wands, where you're showing up as all these majors. So they know that you know more about this situation than they do. So it almost feels like, even though they're making this transformation, they're ready to come forward confidently, they're being brave about this, they're facing their deepest fears and coming towards this love, they're still looking to you to say, hey, can you show me like what I'm supposed to do next? Can you tell me if I'm doing this right? There's still this idea that you are so much more advanced, and it feels like their eyes are on you. Like, what do we do now? So why the High Priestess and the Hierophant? So there's the Queen of Pentacles, Judgment, and the King of Swords. It's also because this person knows that the decision is up to you, that you right now are holding a boundary with them until they come at you the right way, which we've already talked about. So they know that the decision lies fully in your hands. They know that they are completely out of control in this situation. They're the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man has no control. The Hanged Man is just waiting for someone to let him out of his time out. And you are showing up now as a Judgment, another major arcana on your side. This person is fully aware of the fact that the decision lies with you. And so this is really giving that your person is looking at you, because I was saying it feels like their eyes are on you because they're waiting and watching for you to make a final decision, for you to make the final verdict with this King of Swords. Which way is Sagittarius going to pick? Are they going to pick me, or are they going to take that Eight of Cups and leave? Because they know with this Queen of Pentacles that you would be fine without them. The Queen of Pentacles doesn't need anybody. The Queen of Pentacles is a very self-sustained, self-nurturing, self-valued type of person. They don't need anyone. But the question is, do you want this person? We know you don't need this person. The question is, do you want them? Do you want this divine activated love that's about to come in? So in that regard, because we know that the entire control of the decision is now on you, and your person is just sitting there pleading that you're hoping that you're going to let them down out of this Hanged Man position and let them back into your life, I think we should get some final advice. So we're getting the Sun with the Tower. So that Tower, that everything being pulled out from the rug, being pulled out from underneath both of you, is exactly what you needed to see the truth, the reality, the clarity with the King of Swords, to see the truth in the situation. So, but it does give me the feeling that this is going to be a much more optimistic type of relationship now that those transformations have happened. But let's get your advice. So we have Temperance, Nine of Cups, and the World. Wow. So this is very clear. The advice is clear, and it matches up with what we were seeing and what you're leaning towards. That this old cycle that you two were in is coming to a complete screeching halt. Your karma has been untied. Your karmic spaghetti is untied. You've learned everything you needed to learn, especially your person who showed up as the Page of Pentacles. You showed up as the Hierophant. So it was almost like you were the teacher and they were the student. But either way, you did it. The Temperance card is here saying you've alchemized your energies. The Nine of Cups and the Sun are here saying this is going to be a beautiful coming together of souls now that you've reached your karmic conclusions. And now this divine love is about to be activated between the two of you. So I feel like you're going to be so happy when your souls come together. And again, I feel like there's a guide here who's behind it all, who's orchestrated it all. So if you're feeling like you want to walk away right now, hang in there and really lean into your intuition is what this is saying. The Hermit is here saying, really go on a deep soul dive and before you walk away, because there's something very beautiful that you would be leaving on the table here. So there you go, Sagittarius. There is your bonus reading. Please let me know how this was resonant for you, and we will do this again sometime. Thanks, everybody. Bye.